Hey, so today I'm going to be talking to you about your why. And I don't know that a lot of people grasp that concept when they first start. They think like, okay, well, yeah, why am I starting? I want to be able to help people. I want to eventually retire my husband, or I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And those are all great things to want to do in this business. But I feel like a why has to be very specific. It has to give you a visual that motivates you, because there's going to be times in this business where you're going to be like on cloud nine, absolutely obsessed, cannot sleep. You get the big vision of where things are going. And then there's also going to be times when it's hard, it's tough, like you've gotten so many no's and you feel like you're running at your hardest but not getting anywhere, kind of on that treadmill. And it's your why during those times that's going to pull you up and keep you going. It's just like when you're starting to work out. You're going to deal with this with your challengers. They're going to say they want change and they're going to have this idea body in their mind. But when it comes time to do the work, it's hard, right? It's hard to make changes, and it's hard to make it into a lifestyle that you stick with. Anybody can be motivated for a day or two to make life changes. But what about that next month or 2 months or 3 months? You start to have it wear on you, and it's so much easier to go back to your comfort zone. And so I want to help you guys to maybe see through my story how to find your own why. I like to envision two buildings. Let's say they're side by side. And on this side is your why, and on this side is you. And there's a small beam in between those two buildings. Your why has to be strong enough, it has to be so important to you that if building number 2 was on fire, you would take the risk of walking that pole over to get to building 2, to get it, that whatever's burning in the fire out. So for me, when I first started this, many of you guys know my story. It's probably why you decided to sign up or why you felt connected to me, and that is that we were financially drowning. I was 23 when I found out I was pregnant, and I didn't have insurance. I was a bartender, and just never really envisioned myself being the girl that gets pregnant, that doesn't have everything all together, because my entire life, because I had 2 alcoholic parents and a mom that was just sort of, she wasn't there. She wasn't able to be there. She was working 2, sometimes 3 jobs to be able to just get food on the table. And that's it. There was 4 of us. And so she was barely making ends meet and also dealing with her own demons. And so as a child, when you don't have a parent that's present, what do you want to be when you grow up? You want to be that parent that is present and then never has to tell their child, like, I'm sorry, we just can't afford that. Or, mommy can't be there, I've got to work. And I was told that my whole life. And so as I grew up, I envisioned myself becoming that mom that is always able to be present with her child, that is always able to be there to pick her up from school or to take her to practice. And when she said, Mommy, I found what I want to do, I'm passionate about blah, 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 I can say, let's do it. Like, let's go all in and let's make the best of that. Because if you want to do that, I want to fully support you in that dream. But here I was, a new mom to a sick premature baby. And not only that, with a premature baby comes a ton of medical expenses. London stayed in the NICU for 7.5 weeks. And with that came about $400,000 worth of medical bills. And they just started piling in one by one by one by one. And I just remember sitting there on my dining room table at the time, and I was losing my home to foreclosure, and we were hiding our car down the road so that when the people came by to repossess it, that they wouldn't be able to find it. And I wasn't able to work a full-time job anymore as a bartender. I had to work part-time because I have alcoholic parents. You can't just drop your daughter off at a parent's house and have them take care of it. I didn't have family members that could really help. And so our hands felt like they were tied behind our back. And all I could do is look at this child and think, why? Why is this happening to me? What can I do to change her life? And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be able to do it. And so when Beachbody came into my life, very randomly, I had all the same doubts that you're likely going to face. And on top of that, I came to find out after I had signed up through the phones, calling Beachbody, that I didn't have an upline that was doing the business, and the upline above her wasn't doing the business, and the upline above her was not doing the business either, and the one that was at the very top did all the things that icky network marketing people did, and I did not want anything to do with it. I knew that if I wanted to be successful at this, it was going to be left up to me, and that I had to become the kind of coach that I wished I would have had. But in my burning building was my child's future, and everything that I had always dreamed of as a child being the kind of mom that I wanted to be able to be for her. And so I was willing to walk across that pole and risk everything for the chance to save that dream, to be able to provide for the dreams of my child and be able to live out my dreams of my childhood, which was to be that present mom. And so I did. And I failed. And there was times where I wanted to run backwards, but I just kept looking at that building and I kept thinking, hell no, I'm not going back. There is nothing to go back for. If I go back, what am I going back to? Nothing. And now some of you guys' why is not going to be as extreme as that. But you've got to find that thing that lights a fire in you that you will not let yourself stop until you get to that building to save whatever that is for you. And so I really want you to dig deep today and think about the things beyond just helping people, because that's a benefit. I'm so blessed in the fact that this journey has led me to be able to help other people who are where I used to be or in a similar place that I used to be able to have their dreams come true. I look at people like Brittany Leggett or Bonnie Engel, these people that I met at their worst who are now just soaring in this business. I live for that. But at the end of the day, when my little girl walks in and she has a beautiful bedroom that is secure, she lives in a house where she knows she's safe, and I get to be present with my husband and her, we get to attend every single event, that if she comes to me and wants to do something, there is no question in her mind that we're going to be able to do it. And the day that she asks me, Mommy, what were your dreams when you were a little girl? I get to tell her, London, we are living them. So as much as I love every other aspect of the business, that is the driver in my life. And that is the thing that led me to do things that made me completely uncomfortable, that scared the crap out of me. Because nothing was scarier than the day that she grows up and asks me those questions. I have to tell her about all the excuses I made along the way to not be able to give her the life of her dreams. So I'm going to ask you guys to think about that, to think about what that might be in your life. What is that thing in the burning fire that you are willing to go after with everything in you? And I want you to share it below, or if you feel a little bit hesitant to share it publicly with those of us in the group, I want you to message me or make your own little video like this and step outside your comfort zone to proclaim that that is the thing that you're going after that you refuse to give up on. All right, I will see you again tomorrow.